The Dark Psychology of Chanakya, 5 Ruthless Rules to Outsmart Everyone. 2.30 years ago, one man built an empire from nothing. Not with an army, but with a mind so lethal it was considered a weapon. His name was Chanakya. While the world preaches kindness, Chanakya practiced the brutal truth of the human jungle. He wasn't just a teacher, he was the original apex predator of strategy. Today, we decode his most dangerous psychological rules designed not to make you friends, but to make you untouchable. Rule 1. The silence of the serpent. Chanakya said, "Never share your secrets with anybody. It will destroy you." Imagine a modern tech giant in Bangalore. Aryan, a brilliant developer, had a revolutionary idea for a new app. In a moment of excitement and friendship, he shared the core logic with his mentor over drinks. 2 weeks later, Aryan watched his mentor stand on a stage, claiming that exact idea as his own, receiving a multi-million-dollar investment. Aryan didn't just lose a project, he lost his future because he forgot the predator's first law: information is the only currency that loses value the more you spend it. The mentor didn't steal the idea because he was evil. He stole it because Aryan made it easy. By talking, Aryan handed over his weapon. In the eyes of Chanakya, the person who reveals their heart is not honest, they are a volunteer for execution. A true apex predator keeps their intentions in a vault that even their shadow cannot enter. Why do we crave to share? It's called social validation. Your brain gets a cheap hit of dopamine when you tell someone your big plans. But Chanakya understood a darker mechanism: the moment you speak your secret, the tension required to achieve it vanishes. You become weak, predictable, and exploitable. Silence isn't just a choice, it's your primary defense system. From this moment on, treat your mouth like a high security gate. If the information doesn't serve your immediate victory, bury it. Let people see your success, but never let them see the blueprints. Rule 2. Weaponize the enemy's venom. What do you do when someone tries to destroy you? Most people cry, hide, or strike back in a blind rage. Chanakya looked at a snake and saw something different. He didn't just see a threat, he saw a source of power. He taught that a wise man doesn't just kill his enemies, he harvests their venom to sharpen his own blade. The apex predator doesn't fear the attack, they welcome it as free ammunition. Let's look at a brutal power struggle in the political corridors of New Delhi. Vikram, a young reformist, was being targeted by a senior rival who launched a massive, coordinated character assassination campaign. The rival leaked doctored photos and false documents to the press to label Vikram as unstable and radical. The public was turning against him. Instead of issuing a frantic denial, Vikram did the unthinkable. He stayed silent for 3 days, letting the rival's venom spread until it reached a fever pitch. Then, he held a single press conference. He didn't defend himself. Instead, he used the exact radical label his enemy gave him to position himself as the only leader radical enough to fix the broken system. He took the fire meant to burn him and used it to fuel his own campaign. The rival's expensive smear campaign ended up giving Vikram $100 million worth of free publicity. Vikram didn't just survive, he won using his enemy's budget. This is the Aikido of the mind. In psychology, when you fight an attack directly, you validate it, but when you redirect the energy of the insult, you make the aggressor look foolish. Chanakya understood that every attack contains the secret to the attacker's own weakness. By embracing the labels or the threats thrown at you, you strip them of their power to hurt you and transform them into a badge of authority. When they throw dirt at you, don't wash it off immediately. Use it to build your fortress. If they call you ruthless, be the most efficient leader they've ever seen. If they call you silent, let your results scream. Never waste a good attack, turn their venom into your medicine. Rule 3. The calculus of loyalty and betrayal. Chanakya once dropped a truth so cold it freezes the heart. Even if a snake is not poisonous, it should pretend to be venomous. Why? Because in the human hierarchy, loyalty is not a moral virtue, it is a variable of interest. The moment it becomes more profitable to betray you than to serve you, people will change. The apex predator doesn't rely on the goodness of others. They rely on the strategic impossibility of being betrayed. Let's travel to a high-pressure tech startup in Hyderabad. Samir was a visionary CEO who treated his core team like family. He shared everything: his vulnerabilities, his long-term expansion plans, and even his personal bank passwords with his most loyal lieutenant, Rahul. Samir believed that by giving Rahul everything, he was buying eternal loyalty. He was wrong. A massive rival corporation approached Rahul with a deal: an executive position and 10% equity if he could deliver Samir's core client database. Because Samir had made Rahul so powerful and privy to every secret, the cost of betrayal was zero, and the reward was a kingdom. Over a single weekend, Rahul wiped the servers and defected. Samir's family mindset didn't build a bond, it built a monster that eventually devoured him. He forgot Chanakya's warning: too much honesty is dangerous. Straight trees are cut down first. This is incentive-based loyalty. Humans are biologically wired to optimize for survival and status. When you give someone too much access or trust, you create a power imbalance. You make yourself a target because you've removed the consequences of their betrayal. Chanakya taught that you must keep even your closest allies in a state of healthy fear and strategic dependence. If they don't need you to survive, they don't need to be loyal to you. Loyalty is a contract, not a feeling. Never rely on someone's love or friendship to protect your neck. Instead, ensure that betraying you would result in their absolute destruction. Keep your critical levers of power to yourself. Be the straight tree that has hidden thorns. In the world of Chanakya, the only way to ensure loyalty is to make betrayal too expensive to afford. Rule 4. The strategic mask of ignorance. Chanakya once whispered a secret that could save your life: the greatest hunter looks like the easiest prey. In a world obsessed with looking smart, appearing stupid is the ultimate power move. Most people are blinded by their own ego. They feel a desperate need to show off their intelligence. The apex predator does the opposite. They wear a mask of ignorance to make their enemies careless. Today, we decode why playing dumb is the fastest way to win. Look at a high-stakes negotiation in a luxury hotel in Mumbai. Sanjay, a young but incredibly sharp investor, was meeting with a group of arrogant, older businessmen who wanted to buy his shares for a fraction of their value. Sanjay didn't walk in wearing a Rolex or speaking high-level financial jargon. Instead, he looked slightly confused, asked simple questions, and even let the older men explain basic concepts to him. He looked like an amateur, a lucky kid who didn't know the game. Believing they had a dumb target, the businessmen became overconfident. They started talking openly in front of him, leaking sensitive details about their true budget and their desperate need for his shares to avoid a merger collapse. They thought Sanjay was too slow to catch the clues. But Sanjay was a ghost. He was recording every slip of the tongue. When the final contract was laid out, Sanjay's confusion vanished. He delivered a counter-offer so precise, based on the secrets they had just leaked, that it paralyzed the room. By playing dumb, he had effectively wiretapped their minds without a single gadget. This is the arrogance trap. When you appear less intelligent than you are, the other person's ego expands. Their brain stops filtering information because they no longer perceive you as a threat. They feel superior, and in that state of superiority, they become incredibly talkative and careless. Chanakya taught that when you let others believe they are smarter than you, you gain absolute control over the flow of information. Never be the smartest person in the room, even if you are. Let them teach you. Let them correct you. While they are busy feeding their ego, you are busy collecting their weaknesses. Silence your brilliance so you can see their darkness. In the game of power, the man who hides his claws is the one who eventually makes the kill. Rule 5. The Law of Absolute Strike. Chanakya taught a terrifying lesson that most modern leaders are too afraid to admit: a debt, an enemy, and a disease, if left even partially unpaid or untreated, they will grow and destroy you. In the world of the apex predator, there is no room for half measures. If you strike, you must strike to end the threat forever. Mercy is not a virtue. It is a tactical error that gives your enemy a second chance to slit your throat. Story. Let's look at a high-stakes corporate takeover in Mumbai. Kabir, a ruthless investor, successfully ousted his rival from a major textile firm. However, Kabir felt merciful. He allowed the defeated rival to keep a small 5% stake in the company and a minor seat on the board. Thinking the man was too broken to fight back, Kabir wanted to look like the bigger man in front of the media. He was wrong. That 5% was the only foothold the rival needed. For 2 years, the rival stayed in the shadows, quietly poisoning the minds of the board, slowly buying back small shares through shell companies, and waiting for Kabir to make one single mistake. When a minor scandal hit Kabir, the rival struck with the precision of a cobra. He orchestrated a vote of no confidence and seized the entire company back, leaving Kabir with nothing. Kabir's mercy didn't earn him respect, it earned him his own destruction. As Chanakya said, a half-crushed snake is more dangerous than a dead one. This is the reciprocity of revenge. Psychology shows that a defeated enemy doesn't feel gratitude for your mercy, they feel the burning sting of humiliation. By leaving them with any power at all, you provide them with a mission: to reclaim their dignity by destroying yours. The apex predator understands that total victory is the only way to ensure long-term peace. You don't punish to be evil, you punish to eliminate the possibility of future conflict. When the battle is won, ensure the threat is permanently neutralized. This doesn't mean physical violence, it means stripping them of their influence, their resources, and their ability to harm you ever again. Do not leave a single spark of their rebellion alive, or it will eventually burn your house down. Strike once, strike hard, and leave nothing but ashes behind. Chanakya's rules are not for the faint of heart. They are for those who understand that the world is a chessboard, and only the apex predator survives to the end. You've learned the rules of silence, venom, loyalty, ignorance, and ruthlessness. Now, the choice is yours: evolve, or be hunted. Subscribe to the Archive of the Elite. See you in the next analysis.